Yo, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Bootio's Boy Wrestling fan interview. Today, I have a special episode. I normally don't film on a Sunday, but I did today. I'm with the lovely Gabby Ortiz. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good today. I'm warm. It's hot out, but otherwise, I'm doing okay.
That's good. Good to hear. Um, how have you been doing during this COVID-19 BS? I
It's
hate it.
been the worst, and I hate it. And I want it to be over yesterday.
Are you staying safe? You're healthy. You're all that.
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Um, I'm doing okay. I mean, the only thing I had before this happened was just the gym because my wrestling season was over in school. So
hmm
just trying to work out as much
Yeah,
as I
it's
can.
tough, right?
hmm So how long have you been in the wrestling world?
I've been in the business for 5 years. I started training in 2015, and I had my first match about 2 years later.
Wow. How much have you traveled so far in wrestling?
I've traveled a substantial amount. I've been all the way to Japan. So, yeah, I would say I've traveled a lot at this point in time.
Now, you have had a lot of matches. Some against a top star like Nyla Rose, and you're even facing a female wrestler named Holly Dead, she's a pretty tough wrestler. Um, is she gonna? Are you gonna buy those hands that you found online? And she gonna get those
Yeah,
hands?
yeah, I already got them. They're right here. I'm ready to go. I call her Holly Baby. I don't call her Holly Dead. She's little Holly Baby.
Now,
Don't scare me.
where is your? I asked you this question the other day on the Nerds of Wrestling thing, but it was my question, so I'm gonna ask again. Um, where is your mindset at right now, since it's the first show back for you?
I'm just so excited and I'm anxious and I cannot wait for the day to come. It's so hard to like just sit and like watch the hours go by because I just want to get in there and do it. And it's like 2 weeks away. So it's not that far away from now. And it's coming and it's going to be so much fun. And I'm so excited. It's been so long.
Now, on your social media, you post a picture of your little baby Yoda thing. I don't know exactly what it is. All I know is it's a baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Will he be ringside with you as like a ring manager?
No, I have somebody else coming ringside with me. It's not a person, but it has to do with what I'll be wearing to the ring. And it's not anything Baby Yoda or Mandalorian. It's something else that's really close to my heart. And if you're a big fan of me, I think you'll be able to guess what it is. But I'm not saying anything other than that.
Interesting.
hmm
It's a surprise. It sounds like, unless like you
Yeah, I
said.
mean, some people might not know what it is. Some people might, but if they know me, they know what it is.
Now, you said you've been in wrestling for 5 years. You traveled to Japan. What's it like to only wrestle for 2 years and you already been to Japan?
So I mean, it was crazy. It was like, how did I even get to this point? I never thought I would even get a look at. Because it took so long for me to have my first match when I got into wrestling. I was pretty sure I was never going to wrestle. I was pretty sure that I was going to be an announcer or an interviewer or something, which would have been fine. But when I got chosen to go to Japan, everything changed. My entire life changed because I had only had 2 or 3 matches in America, and then I got shipped to Japan, where I had 10 matches. So I only had a handful of matches before I even went there. And then I got there and it was very intimidating. It was very scary for a little while. And then after like my second or third match, I became like family there and they became like family to me. And it was really hard to leave. It was really hard to like go back to the American scene after that, especially the horror stories I heard from my roommates.
Um, if people don't know who you are, I mean, I don't, but I've seen a couple of things about you.
Mhm.
Um, is there a match that they should go back and find and watch it to learn
Yeah,
more
you
about you?
mentioned you mentioned wrestling Nyla Rose. I would go check out that match. If you just put Gabby Ortiz versus Nyla Rose, you'll find it right on YouTube. It's free. Synergy Wrestling is where that match happened. And it's one of their free matches they have up on their YouTube channel. So check it out. Check out their other stuff too. There's tons of cool matches.
Now, as I said, I like to have fun on these shows, and I know you like to have fun too. So I want to know what made you decide that you thought it was okay to go to Boston and wear a Philadelphia Phillies T-shirt in Boston Red Sox territory?
Because I'm from Philly, yo. I do what I want, yo. 215 every day. There was a guy walking around with his Sixers hat. We had a moment. We looked at each other. I was like, "You're my man. We're cool." But I got some dirty looks. I'm not gonna lie.
I would imagine you're in Boston wearing a Phillies shirt. Another thing I want to know is what's it like to just play with an ant for a straight 2 minutes?
You were watching all my stuff. Okay.
When I do
it
my
was
research
weird.
on the people that I interview, I find everything.
You find everything. Okay, yeah. So it was weird, and I was very clearly very bored. But I saw a big ant carrying a dead ant to who knows where. So I went upstairs and showed my brother a picture. I was like, "Look at this ant! It's carrying its like dead brother or something." And then I ran downstairs, and he like abandoned the dead ant. So I had to like clean it up because he was just. I think he was sick of me. I think he was like, "This lady's not gonna stop bothering me." And I wasn't until I figured out where he was going. But he disappeared.
The gift of gab, am I right?
Am I right? You are right. I find joy in the littlest things, like an ant carrying its dead brother.
No ant left behind.
Well, except that one.
Oh, true. What exactly is the gift of gab? I want to
The
know.
gift of gab is who I am. It's my essence. It's my purpose. It's who I've grown to be, who I was raised to be. I was raised to be the gift. I was raised to be a gift to everybody around me. And that's what I do. That's what I embody every single day of my life, just inside and outside the ring. And also I talk a lot of crap, so.
When you're wrestling, what are you more? A baby face or a heel?
Depends on where I am. I've done a lot of heel work though. My first match ever, I was a heel, and it kind of got stuck that way. But I've I've been face a lot too. I mean, I would say it's about 50-50.
Where did you come up with the your username for social media? The Galorbian or
The
something like that? I said it
Gabalorian.
wrong.
The Gabalorian. It's from The Mandalorian on Disney Plus with Baby Yoda.
Oh, good
It's
to
from
know.
the show. But I made it my name.
What is your worst match in your career that people should not watch?
I don't think it even exists because I begged the promoter to like delete it.
Oh.
I begged the promoter. I said, "Please do not post this." And he looked at me because we were pretty tight. We still are. I'm sure he'll run again soon. He was like, "I would never, ever do that to you." And I was like, "Thank you." It was, I'm not going to say where it was because it makes it too obvious. But I was face in that match and my opponent was heel. And I called the whole thing. I came up with the whole structure of it. I'm not putting myself over. I'm telling you the story. It's true. I came up with the whole structure of the match. We got in there and she forgot everything. So it's really hard to lead from underneath. You know, when a heel leads through the mat, you know. I don't gotta tell you that. It was really difficult to lead from underneath, and in hindsight, I should have turned the tables. And I should have been the more aggressive person. I should have been the one putting heat on her. I should have switched it in the middle of the match just so we could get through it. We barely got through it. She didn't take my finisher right. She didn't do anything right. It was, and I thought about it for weeks after that. I was so frustrated with myself. I wasn't even frustrated with her. She was a newer girl. It was me that I was frustrated with because I should have thought quicker on my feet. But now it's a learning experience. So now I know if that ever happens again next time, what I have to do in that moment.
What got you into wrestling?
My dad. My dad, 100%. He always watched wrestling, always been a big fan. His grandmother was a huge fan. His mom, his dad were huge fans. Just, it's a family thing. But I'm the only one who's ever actually pursued it.
Wow. First generation, technically.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if any of my nieces or nephews want to do it. I think my nephew does. He's too young now, but he still loves wrestling and he wants to be a wrestler when he grows up. Very possible, especially with someone like me in his life.
Where do you want to have your career in like 10 years? I'll throw a random number out there.
For 10 years, I'll be 35. I would like to have been signed somewhere for a little while at that point. I don't care where that right now. It could be Ring of Honor, it could be WWE, it could be AEW, MLW, Impact, whatever it may be. I want to have a contract that I want it to validate my career. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any specific place where? I mean, you just named a lot of companies, but like, where's the top company that you want to be at?
AEW.
Why, if you don't mind me
It
asking?
looks like a lot of fun. I have a lot of friends that are there, and my gear designer is there. So she can't make my gear anymore because she's there. So I want to be back with her because I really miss her. And just I think that there's just more creative control that people have over themselves and who they are. So I think that that's why it's an incredibly valuable company in terms of storytelling and character building, because it's not coming from a table, where there's people deciding things for you. It's coming from you, and it's coming from that table too. It's collaborative, and I really, really appreciate that.
Would you say AEW is kind of like it's kind of more independent than a major wrestling company?
No, I think it's a major wrestling company with very independent roots. Yeah. Because if you see their roster, I mean, those were guys that I was on shows with when I was, 20 years old. So it's got very independent roots. I think most companies do, though.
What's it like to be a two-time? I forgot the championship name, but you were a
The
two-time champion in
MFW
that
Girls
company, right?
Champion. Yeah, I am currently the champion now. I want to see the belt. I have it. It's right there.
Sure. Wow.
I've had this belt for way too long, but I'm happy about it because I'm technically the longest reigning champion because of a pandemic. So I've only gotten to defend it once, but other than my first reign, my second reign, I've only defended it once. So I'm
You
ready to
know,
bring it back.
I talked to a former wrestler. I mean, he's still a wrestler. And he's a champion too. And there used to be a rule on his championship. It was 24/7. Would you ever trade that title to be 24/7? That way you could have title defenses on it. How
I want
come?
all my matches to be as sanctioned as possible. I'm not trying to let anybody sneak up on me and do a sneak attack.
Uh, good answer. Good answer. Let's see. Wow, you really flew these questions real quick, and
Oh,
I got off track. So, hmm. Um, what is the first company that you're gonna work for when wrestling comes back?
sure. I actually have a match July 24th, and it will be with TCW for their Goddesses of War brand. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. I've worked for TCW before, and this is their first Goddesses of War show. So it's going to be huge, and people are going to, God, I cannot wait. I really can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
And it's all female wrestlers, correct?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the wrestling world today? Whether it's independent companies, who do you think has the advantage?
I
Independent
think
companies?
right at this point in time, the major companies have more of an advantage because they never stopped running. AEW kept filming, WWE kept filming. I think Impact is filmed. So they definitely have the advantage in this day and age, where a couple months ago it was independents that had the advantage, I thought. But definitely the script is flipped because of the circumstances of the world, which is like, it's a bummer.
So we already talked about what companies that you'd like to go to, the major ones. What independent companies would you like to work for?
I would like to continue to work for the same ones I've been working for. And I would like to go to GCW and Beyond. Um, Beyond already has they have their Women's Wrestling Revolution, which hasn't ran in a really long time. And I've worked there before, so if they ever come back, I want to go back to working for them because I really enjoyed my time there.
What any dream opponents that you have?
Yeah, I have plenty. Bianca Belair is my number one right now. Chris Statlander, even though I said I wanted to be signed to AEW, I would love to wrestle Bianca Belair one day. Chris Statlander is another one. I want to wrestle Nyla Rose again. I want to wrestle Deonna Purrazzo, very much so. I would love to wrestle her. And we've ran into each other so many times, but never had to have that match together. So I want that. I want Tasha Steele, and I want Carissa because Carissa and I have been tag team. We've been in tag team matches against each other. We've been a tag team, and I want to wrestle her singles finally. And we've been in a battle royale together, but we've never actually wrestled each other one on one.
Now, like I said before, when I interview someone, I make sure I find all my research on them. One thing that I found is your TikTok. When is more TikToks going to be posted by you?
I don't know, dude. I can't dance. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really get TikTok. I don't get it. So, I'm getting old.
You said you're
So I
going to be
don't get
35 in 10 years. It's not old yet.
Yeah, but like in my brain, I feel like I'm 10 years older than I actually am, despite what people may think about me or what's around my room. But I don't feel like I just don't get TikTok, and it makes me feel old for not getting it because like I've always been on top of all social media platforms, and then when TikTok came out, I thought it was stupid. And a lot of other people thought it was stupid. Then it started getting really cool and people really like it. And now there's like 13-year-olds with billions of followers. And I'm like, I don't get it. It's like a head scratcher to me. So I posted one TikTok and maybe I'll post other ones. I don't know.
Now, on your live video, you mentioned that today's going to be your first day back to training. Am I correct?
Hmm.
How are you feeling about that?
I got the butterflies. I'm a little anxious. I feel like I got a lot of ring rust and there's going to be a special guest trainer there. And I don't know if it was announced, so I don't want to say who it is. But this particular person is extremely intimidating to me. And I'm embarrassed. And I'm going to be embarrassed if I can't do the stuff that he wants us to do in the ring because, like, I've been doing this for a long time and I almost feel like I'm going to forget stuff. I probably won't, but it definitely feels like it. And I have the butterflies. I'm a little nervous.
Think about it as like the first day of school. Like everyone's on the same page. So
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Thank you. That's a good way to look at
you're welcome. Glad I could help.
it.
Um, so as I mentioned, it's hard to find stuff to do, and I've been trying to work out. What have you been doing to try to stay in wrestling shape?
Just running, just lots of running, lots of cardio. I've never been a muscly person, and I don't think I ever will be. I just don't have that body type. I could get like toned and stuff, but like I'm never gonna be like a strong girl. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
always gonna be the smaller one. So just running and keeping up my cardio has been the main thing I've done. And weightlifting here and there, like with my boyfriend LSG, he had a weightlifting thing up in his dad's garage. So we would go work out there and lift there together. But I did that a couple times a week during quarantine. And my gym still isn't open, so I'm just gonna have to keep running and using the garage weights for a while.
Or you could always find like an ant and just chase it.
You're not wrong. I could do that.
Now, on your live video, I don't know who joined, but he came up with an idea for you to do makeup tutorials.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to do that for people that like makeup? I'm not interested in that kind of stuff.
You're not. You look like you would be.
Thanks. I'm already handsome as I can get, so.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You don't need any. You don't need it. You don't need an ounce of makeup. You're good. I mean that. Um, Yeah, I think I would do it. I think I'd be pretty good at it. I really love makeup, and I've always loved doing my makeup, and I would do it like there is a product in makeup called setting spray. It's that stuff I sprayed on my face at the end. And I would like test them out. So it'd be like I would do a match and I would test one out and see how well my makeup stayed on during the match, and then I would test out another one and see how well my makeup stayed on during the match. And I think that would really like give an insight to people that don't know about wrestling, because they're going to be watching for the makeup and for the tutorial and for the review. And then it would give people who are into wrestling an insight of something that I really like personally. So I think it could give me a bigger audience, and I think it could mesh two audiences together that have never really interacted.
Now, a picture of it's a promo picture of you wrestling. It's you trying to like get the tape off. Did that tape like was that tape giving you a hard time, so you had to bite it off, or like what was the deal with that?
No, the guy told me to do it. The photographer did. I'm gonna be real with you. It was all staged. The
Everyone
photographer
knows
was like,
that.
bite the tape off like a boxer, and I was like, okay.
Like I said, we like to have fun on these shows. So, um, if COVID-19 didn't happen, where do you think your wrestling career would be right now?
I think I'd be extremely busy because I had matches planned up until June. I had matches planned for June in February. So I think I would just be incredibly busy right now. I don't think I would be able to do this interview on a Sunday. I think I'd be wrestling somewhere. So it's a bummer. Another bummer.
I forgot to ask you this. Where did you train for wrestling?
I trained at the MFPW, the Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey.
For people that don't know what that is, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, it's one of the oldest wrestling schools in the world. It was created and owned by Larry Sharp, Pretty Boy Larry Sharp. And when he passed away, he gave it to Danny Cage, and Danny Cage has been my trainer since I started, and he runs it. He's never was a name or anything, but he just loves the art of wrestling, and he wrestled a while, but then he got injured pretty bad. So he's able to explain wrestling in a way that I haven't found in another trainer, and I've had a lot of other trainers since then. But he's still my main one.
What is your diet like for when wrestling was happening and then now quarantine?
I ate whatever I wanted and just worked out. I'm not
Same.
kidding. I've never had a diet in my life. I've never gone on a diet, and I don't ever intend to. I just eat what I want and I work out really hard, and you get what you get.
You get the
I
gift
can
of gab.
get the gift of gab, and I can wrestle and I can do what I need to do, and I can wear my outfits and I'm good, and I'm not going to deprive myself of food that I like because I want to be a twig or anything like that. Like I never wanted to be that. So not that that isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, if girls want to diet, diet. If not, don't feel pressured to.
Very interesting. I'm having fun right now.
Good, me too.
So, if training goes well tonight, your first time back, um, how do you think? How do you want? What is your expectation versus what do you think reality is going to be?
I think my expectation is I'm going to go in there and not remember anything, but the reality is going to be I'll remember stuff and I'll be okay because I'm really anxious.
If you could excuse me for 1 second, my dog just got outside, and no one's outside with me right now.
Go
Summer,
take care of
get
that.
back here. 1 second, I'll be right back.
What did you have to do?
Go, come on, let's go. No, no. All right, I'm all set. Sorry about that brief
That's
interruption.
okay.
You know, they say they get dogs and then they're supposed to behave. Not all dogs do that.
Not all dogs do that.
How long do you plan on being in wrestling before hopefully you reach your goal of getting signed? What is your overall time in wrestling plan to be?
I think if you stay healthy and fit and have a good mindset, it's indefinite. So I don't have a timeline. I'll do it till I feel like I don't have it in me anymore.
What is your advice for people that want to get into wrestling that think, I mean, a lot of people think it's really hard, but once you get the proper training for it, it comes along. So,
I'll say this, if I can do it, anybody can do it because I'm not athletic. I'm not athletic. I don't have any sort of connection with anybody in wrestling in terms of like familial relations with people. I'm just a girl who liked to watch it. And I came in and killed it. I was in Japan 2 years into my career. So if I can do it, anybody can. Literally, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And my advice would be to just network, ask questions, and mouth shut, ears open. Very rudimentary advice, but it goes a long, long way.
I had a question and then I forgot about it.
Oh no.
Everything. What could I ask? See, this is the hard part about interviews when you run out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
It sucks. Um, hmm. You already talked about your worst match. What is the worst bump you have ever taken in wrestling?
It was a pop-up power bomb from Nyla Rose. That was not fun. I know I answer these questions so fast, like because I have this knowledge like right here. Like it's so accessible because these are such important moments in my life that I can just like get them really quick because I know what the worst bump is. I know what the worst match is. I know what my favorite match is. I know, I know all these things about my career because it's so important to me, and I can like easily access it and just tell you it on the dime.
What has been the best bump that you have ever taken that hasn't really hurt?
Best bump. That's a good question. I've never actually heard what the best bump you've ever taken is. I would have to say it was a big boot by Hana Kimura in Japan. It was her finisher, but she's so freaking professional. She was so freaking professional that it felt like a pillow hitting your face. She's amazing. She was amazing. I can't stop talking about her. Like, it's tough. She was a good friend of mine.
Rest in peace. She was a
Rest in
great
peace, Hana.
wrestler.
Yeah, she was. She really was.
So you went to Japan. Have you ever gone to any other countries in the world?
As vacation, but not to wrestle. I've been to like England and Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. That's not a different country, but it's in the Caribbean. So that's it.
Is there any other countries that you want to wrestle in?
I want to wrestle in Europe, the continent. So it could be any country in the continent that I'd be cool with wrestling at. I want to go back to Japan and somewhere in South America. So maybe like, well, Mexico's North America. I would like to go to Mexico, maybe Colombia. There's a scene coming up in Colombia that I would like to be a part of.
Wow. You're so fast on answering these questions.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I know. Like I think about this stuff all the time. So
I mean, the only question that you didn't answer like really fast was the best bump, and that was
best
it.
bump, because nobody asked that question. It's such a unique question.
What went into creating your character?
Not much. It's just me turned up to like a 100. I was able to just hone that part of me very easily because I'm an actor by trade. So that's what I studied my entire life was acting until I started wrestling. So I'm very lucky that I have that in my tool belt to get to do, because like my name is Gabby Ortiz is my first nickname. So my name's Gabriella, and Ortiz is my mother's maiden name. So it's not like a far reach from who I actually am as a person. It's actually very close to my heart and my actual personality. But it's just turned up and a little bit more bratty.
Have you ever cheated in wrestling?
Yeah, a lot. I'm small, dude. I gotta find a way to win.
Can you tell us some of the ways that you have cheated?
All the classic ways. I had a manager who helped me cheat, pull the tights, put my foot up on the ropes, all that good stuff, trick somebody, all that good stuff to try to get the win. I want to get the win. That's like the main goal of it. And if you can cheat to do it, why not? It's a
What's
horrible way to look at it, but it's the truth.
have you ever cheated with a foreign object?
Yep, my belt.
What has been the toughest match that you have tried cheating in, but you came up short?
It was against the Notorious Mimi for the belt. She actually won that night. I tried to cheat and she got the best of me. We wrestled so many times that like she finally figured out my dastardly ideas and plans. So, but she won't next time. That's for damn sure.
Gotta bring all the cheating ways that you can. Um, hmm. I'm so unprepared, and I feel really I feel bad about it.
Don't worry.
Um, hmm. Wow, it's just. Let's play a game then. Beth, I'll say a wrestler name if you know them, or like I'll just say favorite wrestler, and you just name them.
Okay.
Just to try to fill up the time slot because this interview went really quick. Your answers are really quick, as you said.
Okay.
So. Favorite wrestler to have a match with.
Riley Shepard.
Favorite match in your career.
Me versus Hana Kimura in Japan.
Worst match in your career, even though we already talked about it.
I can't say the names. Sorry.
Favorite tag team match that you've had.
It was me and Carissa Rivera versus C Bunny and Riley Shepard.
Weirdest stipulation.
Weirdest stipulation, you said?
Mm-hmm.
The one where you're like chained together.
Oh, like the strap match or
Strap match. Strap match. Thank you. Yeah, like a strap match.
Favorite championship title match.
The last one I had was a fatal 4-way between me, Nevaeh Chantel, the Notorious Mimi, and Vicious Vicky.
Most hardcore match you ever been in.
It was another fatal 4-way with myself, Lufisto, Penelope Ford, and Katrid. It was a no DQ match. I was body slammed onto a metal trash can.
What was your first match like?
It was a lot of fun. It's a really good memory I have. I'm very proud of that match.
Worst loss that you've ever taken?
When I lost my belt to Notorious Mimi.
Yeah, but then you won it back, so.
This is true. Okay, I'll change my answer. It was when I lost the ECWA Super 8 to Quinn McKay.
Wow. I can't really think of anything else to ask.
Because... Again, quick, right? I'm quick.
Yep. Just a heads up for anyone else that wants to interview her. Make sure you write stuff down because it's really fast. Is there anything that you would like to ask me on this interview?
What made you want to do podcasts?
Well, pretty much, I used to just do like wrestling figure videos, and my audio was terrible. Mm-hmm. And then I found a microphone that I got for like my birthday like 2 years ago, and then I started like talking to wrestlers at shows. Normally it was just I go up during intermission, like buy something, and then I would just go and enjoy the rest. Mm-hmm. I interviewed my first wrestler, and then from there I just started having more fun with it, and I found out about more people and more like how they been on the independent scene for way more longer. And then I just found out about using Skype from a friend of mine mm-hmm. that goes to wrestling events, and here I am today.
Cool beans. Take down that Patriots flag.
Why? No, absolutely not.
Go Birds!
It's the worst.
How'd that loss feel to our backup quarterback? What was that like? Because I don't know what it was like because we won. So
that's the only thing you guys can talk about.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. We won the Super Bowl with our backup quarterback. That's incredible.
Who faced the freaking Seahawks and your guys got your quarterback got tackled and broke something.
He broke his back. Come on. Don't talk about Carson like that. Come on.
Mhm.
Now, I'll say this: we against probably one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I'll say that much about the Patriots. But he's not a Patriot anymore.
Yeah,
So
he's a
sorry.
Buccaneer now. So I'm a diehard Patriots fan. We got Cam Newton, so we'll be back to the
No,
playoff
I
picture.
think that's a really good. I think that's a really good option for you guys. Is Cam Newton. So we still got Carson.
Here, we'll
Which is
talk sports now. What are your thoughts on you guys got Bryce Harper last year for your Philly team?
He was a little disappointing his first year. He didn't really deliver the way we thought he was going to. But hopefully, with the amount of rest he's gotten, and hopefully he's been doing some sort of training, and maybe just the excitement of getting back to playing baseball at some point, he'll be better. That's all we can hope for because it goes a $31 million contract he got. It's a lot of money. It's a
For 13
lot
years.
for 13 years. That's a lot of money and that's a long time. So he better step up because we're spending a lot of money on that guy.
Yeah, imagine signing one of the best players and the team that he leaves ends up winning the World Series.
I forgot about that. Thanks a lot, Donovan, for reminding me that happened.
Yeah, and you want to talk about how the Patriots lost to your
Okay,
Eagles.
different sport, different whole. That's different. And besides, didn't the Patriots win like 2 years later?
Yeah, we won the following year. We went back, and then
Oh yeah.
we blew it last year. It was just.
Oh yeah, last year, you guys. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. But so
Well,
did your
no.
Eagles. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
EAGLES Eagles. I'll stop.
At least you're not singing the Eagles anthem or whatever it is.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear your singing voice.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, scoring touchdowns 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch those Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Eagles! Eagles! I can't believe you made me do that, and I can't believe I just did it to a Patriots fan. Thank you for giving me that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I actually enjoyed that performance. So
Oh, thank you.
you get an
Thank you. I
Oscar or a
hope
Grammy.
if you ever hear that again, you think of me.
Maybe you should have that as your theme song. Which, by the way, what is your theme song?
Yeah, it's called The Gift of Gab. It's an original song by my best friend Nadia. She made it for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else can we talk about? I was literally about to end this, and then you brought up the Patriots thing. So you extended this interview now, which is a good thing. So
Yeah.
What other sports are there in Philadelphia?
Got hockey, but I'm not a huge hockey fan.
Uh,
I'm really just baseball, football, and a little bit of basketball. Like a little bit.
I mean, the 76ers suck, so.
I watched Uncut Gems the other night. Have you ever seen it?
I saw, like, the preview of it. I want to watch it, and then, like, I hear, like, bad reviews on it or something like that.
Oh, no, it's really good. The whole thing is centered around the 2012, I forget what.
Kevin Garnett's ring or something.
Yeah. But it's about the Sixers versus the Celtics, like up until Game 7 of that series. And if you remember, it's not a spoiler, but the Celtics win that series against the Sixers. So you might actually really enjoy it because you'll get to see that again.
I mean, the Celtics are Boston Celtics are actually the most NBA Finals wins. So we have 18.
Your point.
It's better than having than nothing. So
This is taking a turn, Donovan. This interview is taking a turn.
It really is, to be honest. It's fun. So at least we're having fun.
Yeah, we are.
Not on like a good way, but it's kind of like stabbing each other back and forth. So
Yeah, no, it's great. It's like a stabby game.
hmm yeah.
No,
Um.
I do have respect for New England teams. I really do. Like, I know it sounds
Thanks.
like I don't, but like, you have to have respect for. It's like in wrestling, you have to have respect for the other person you're wrestling, because if you don't and you beat them, it doesn't matter. If you lose to them, you lose to someone who sucks. If you beat them, you beat someone that sucks. So like, it doesn't mean anything. So the fact that we were able to beat you guys in the Super Bowl says a lot about us. But you guys had so many wins, and it's not like we took that away from you when we won. So it's just, you gotta have respect.
Look, you guys beat a team that came back from a 25-point deficit in the third quarter the previous year. So,
Yeah, you're not
which
wrong.
let me ask you this. I ended up going to it's like a open house fantasy camp thing for wrestling in Connecticut like 3 weeks ago. And all it wasn't like learn how to like have a whole match or anything. It was just learning the basics, running the ropes, exiting the ring. I didn't learn how to take a bump or jump off the top rope, anything like that. I know I struggled getting in and out of the ring because rather than just hopping through the middle rope and just like hopping the floor, uh, the trainer there wanted me to jump to the floor or get eliminated like in a rumble. What was your first day of training like?
It was just locking up, but I did it with X-Pac the whole time.
Lucky
So
you.
I know my wrestling career has been insane thus far. Yeah, my first day of training, X-Pac came, and he was a guest trainer, and he taught me how to lock up, and that's what I did the whole night.
Just that? And that was it?
I had bruises all here from locking up so many times.
I didn't realize how much like those ropes. I mean, each company has different rings and ropes,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize how much the ropes actually burn you, like burn your skin.
Yeah.
Because I woke up the next day and I'm like, wow, that's a huge mark on my elbow.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's not. That's when people are like, "Oh, wrestling's fake." I'm like, "Yeah, tell me my bruises are fake, please. Please tell me this huge mark on my back is fake."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've insulted each other with sports.
Yep.
You've answered every question really quick. I can't ask you that because I already know the answer to it. Let's see. Want to play rock paper scissors or something?
Sure. And then you want to end it there? See who wins?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Whoever wins this has the better football team.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, tie.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Oh wait, are we doing best 2 out of 3? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Boom, boom, boom. All right, this is it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Patriots are the best team in football.
This is the worst.
Is there anything that you'd like to promote before we end this?
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Gabby, Gabbity, and you'll be able to interact with me because I answer basically everybody.
And quickly too.
And very quickly, yes.
Thank you again. I appreciate your time today, Gabby Ortiz. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Remember, Patriots are the best football team in the world. Eagles suck. And yeah, see you in the next interview.
Bye.